Just like the Fibonacci spiral, life and history spirals back and repeats itself. And we could know how and when history is going to repeat itself. We are now in a fourth turning, and the fourth turning could help us better understand World War III happening now. Hello everyone, I am Michael and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. I recently came across the information about turnings. And when we look at our history and we take them in 80-year blocks, we could know how and when history will repeat itself. And right now, we're all living in a fourth turning. And when we understand this, we could better understand World War III happening now. So all of history tends to repeat itself in approximately 80-year blocks. And each 80-year block can be divided into 4 turnings. And each one of these turnings has a different characteristic. You have the first turning of a high, followed by an awakening, followed by an unraveling, and then the fourth turning is the crisis. Okay, so you have the first turning, which is high, upbeat. The second turning, awakening, passionate. Third turning, unraveling, downcast. And fourth turning, crisis, upheaval. And then there'll be a great clearing. And then we could return to that upbeat time. How does history repeat itself? When we look at our last 80-year block, we could see the first turning beginning with the end of World War II. World War II is finished, and now the world was upbeat, right? We were in a high. Then that ended with the assassination of JFK. That was followed by the awakening. And we had Martin Luther King, Woodstock, the Beatles, right? That was the time period. That ended and went into the downcast or the unraveling. September 11th, the war in Iraq and the financial crisis of 2008. From 2008, around that time, we enter the crisis. So think back to 2008. This is the time period now. We're in this crisis. We are now in the fourth turning. And the fourth turning is World War III, the spiritual war. History blocks. So when we go back in time, and we're going to take the last approximately 80-year history blocks. You have the Revolutionary War end, and then you go to the end of that history block, and the fourth turning is the Civil War beginning. Then you go to the next 80-year block. You have the Civil War ending, and then the beginning of World War II. And in the history block that we're in now, you have the end of World War II, and now we're in World War III, or the spiritual war, whatever it will be called in the future, Light Warriors, in the history books in the future, whatever it will be called. When we look at the turnings, the 4 turnings, we can understand how history repeats itself. A lot of people are looking around and they're not quite sure what's happening on our planet. But when we really look back at 80-year blocks, and we know that just like the Fibonacci spiral, right? These are the energies of the universe. Life and history are going to repeat itself, right? And we're going to spiral back down. So just like in your everyday life, we need to learn from the past. So let's go back and look at these history blocks. And now that we're in World War III, how are we going to exit this and go into the high and enter what will be known as the new earth or the fifth dimension, Light Warriors? So everything is about to change, and it will never be the same again. But it's important that we're conscious of this. Sometimes we hear World War III, we hear these terms, right? But sometimes we need to cleanse and purge to make room for growth, make room to level up, right? The forest fire burns everything down, and then new vegetation grows up. So that's what's happening right now. We're in the fourth turning. And if you find this interesting, please leave comments. And maybe you heard of the fourth turning before, but I came across this, and the fourth turning helps us understand World War III happening now. So be conscious of this, and be conscious that history and life is going to repeat itself. And we could see how time after time in these approximate 80-year blocks, we could go from end of Revolutionary War, Civil War starts. Civil War ends, World War II begins. World War II ends, World War III. And when we exit the fourth turning, we'll all be partying on the 5D Earth. If you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people, and please share with one other person, because if we all share with one other person, we will rapidly grow our 5D community. There's nothing to be afraid, Light Warriors. Everything just goes right around you, but we're purging, we're cleansing, and that's what this spiritual war is all about. We're in the fourth turning, and we see that history repeats itself. So it's up to us as humanity to learn from the past. And once we come out of the fourth turning, we're going to be entering the new earth. So I hope that this message is helpful for all of you. We give our prayers and our thoughts to all of the fallen, our fallen brothers and sisters in World War III. And as humanity, we will stick together and we will collectively create the new earth for all people, a better reality, and a better reality especially for our children. Our children have been under attack for many years, and now it's time to free the children, because all attacks go towards the children, because children become adults. And that's what this time period is all about. So let's all learn from the past. Let's learn from these history blocks, right? And understand when we come out of this fourth turning, we will then be in the new earth. My grandfather served in World War II, and it's my honor to serve in World War III. Remember, we cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious that we're in a fourth turning right now, Light Warriors. But it's up to us to learn the history blocks. And when we come out of this fourth turning, we have created the new earth. I am the defender of our everyday lives. Victory of the light. It's important to understand all of these concepts. We're bringing them all together. And we look at the history blocks and we look at the turnings. We know the time is now. When the earth is ravaged and the animals are dying, a new tribe of people will come onto the earth from many colors, classes, creeds, and whom, by their actions and deeds, will make the earth green again. They will be known as the warriors of the rainbow. Commander is on the ground. I hope this message is helpful for all of you. Let's remember our brothers and sisters. Let's keep moving forward, and let's collectively create the new earth. I hope this message was helpful for all of you. Have a great day. Namaste.